If you're feeling drained, overwhelmed, or quietly aching inside, pause for a moment. This message is meant for your heart. There are times in life when everything appears fine on the surface, but inside it's a different story. A quiet storm brews, one that no one else can see. Your thoughts feel tangled, your chest feels heavy, and the silence around you feels louder than ever. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Truly, you're not. And here's something powerful. The path to healing doesn't begin outside. It starts within you. You don't need to search far and wide. The calm, the strength, the love you've been missing, they already live inside you, patiently waiting. Today, we begin a quiet walk inward, a journey inspired by Buddhist wisdom. We'll explore 10 timeless truths that can gently reopen the door to your soul. These are not just teachings, they are medicine for the heart. Let this not be just another video. Let it be a soft space where your emotions are welcome, where your mind rests and your spirit breathes. So close your eyes, even if just for a moment. Take a slow breath, feel it. That is the beginning of healing. You are worthy of peace. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of becoming whole again. Now let's take that first step, together with the gentle guidance of the Buddha, toward inner stillness, compassion, and the quiet dignity of self-respect. Lesson 1. Everything is in motion. Nothing stands still. Pain has a way of making us feel stuck, as if time has frozen and the sadness will never lift. But the truth, whispered through every moment of life, is this: nothing lasts forever. Maybe you've been through days that felt like they would never end. Moments where loneliness and sorrow wrapped around you like a storm, and the lights seemed too far to reach. You may have asked yourself, will this ever stop? Will I ever feel whole again? And yet life continues to move. The seasons shift, the tides rise and fall, the sun sets and rises without fail. This is the law of impermanence, central to the teachings of the Buddha. No emotion, no pain, no joy, no circumstance remains forever. When we're drowning in sorrow, it feels like we're stuck in it. But just as winter melts into spring, your suffering too will transform. One day, the weight you carry now will feel lighter. It will become a memory, not a burden. Even the darkest night must surrender to the morning light, and so it is with your pain. It will pass. This moment is not the whole story of your life, it's just one chapter. What seems unbearable today will give birth to a stronger you tomorrow. Difficulties shape us. They mold our strength, deepen our understanding, and prepare us for a brighter path ahead. So when you feel overwhelmed, remember, this is not permanent, it's just a passing wave in the vast ocean of your life. Trust the flow of time. Trust that peace is not far behind. The only constant is change. And in that change lies the hope, the healing, and the rebirth you're waiting for. Lesson 2. Embrace your pain. Don't escape it. Healing doesn't begin with resistance. It begins with honesty. Like a small flame lit in a dark room, healing quietly begins the moment you say yes. This hurts. We all carry wounds, and yet so often we hide them. We smile when we're breaking inside. We scroll through screens, surround ourselves with noise, and wear strength like a mask. But behind it all, the pain waits, unseen, unheard, unhealed. Buddhist wisdom teaches us a simple truth. What we refuse to feel will never fully heal. The more we run from pain, the more it follows. It isn't trying to destroy us, it's trying to be acknowledged. So instead of asking your pain, "Why are you here?" try saying, "You've come for a reason. What do you want me to learn?" Sit with it, listen to it, let it speak. even if its language is silence. Pain is not your enemy. It's a message, a lost part of you that wants to come home. When you welcome it, when you give it space, it begins to soften, and in that moment, something sacred happens. You begin to make peace with yourself. True strength is not pretending you're unshaken. It's admitting you're hurting and choosing to grow anyway. Every hurt is a line in your story. Every tear holds a truth. And every crack is the place where the light of transformation can enter. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be real. Because in accepting your brokenness, you begin to reclaim your wholeness. Lesson 3. The healing power of self-compassion. True healing doesn't begin when others start loving you. It begins when you start loving yourself. We often fall apart over the smallest things. A cold shoulder from someone, a missed expectation, a lack of recognition. These moments sting, not just because of what others did, but because of what they stirred inside us: doubt, insecurity, and the painful question, am I not worthy? But here's the quiet truth. It's not the absence of love from others that wounds us most. It's the absence of love from within. We keep chasing validation, hoping someone will make us feel whole, yet we leave ourselves unseen, unheard, and unloved. Buddha once said, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." Let that sink in. You are not incomplete. You are not lacking. You are simply disconnected from your own presence. Imagine how your life might change if you treated yourself like someone worth cherishing. What if each morning, instead of criticism, you offered yourself a kind smile? What if your past mistakes became lessons rather than weapons of self-blame? What if, instead of waiting for approval from others, you whispered to yourself, "I am enough. I am whole just as I am"? That's not arrogance. That's inner strength. Self-love is not about indulgence. It's about acknowledgement. It's the quiet act of sitting with your feelings, holding your brokenness with tenderness, and no longer abandoning yourself when you need support the most. When you learn to love who you are, you stop fearing solitude. You stop needing constant reassurance. You begin to grow roots deep, unshakable roots in your own being, because real healing doesn't come from the outside. It blossoms from within, from the moment you decide to stand beside yourself. So next time you feel overlooked, exhausted from hoping someone will understand you, pause, breathe, then say gently to yourself, "I see you, I accept you, I love you." In that moment, you'll realize you've always had the most loyal companion right there with you. And from that place of inner love, no wound is too deep to mend. Lesson 4. The medicine of silence. Healing doesn't always come from doing more. Sometimes it comes from doing nothing at all. In our fast-paced lives, we're always moving toward goals, toward people, toward distractions, but rarely do we pause and turn inward. We've grown used to the noise, not just the kind that surrounds us, but the kind that lives in our own heads. But what if the clarity you seek isn't in more motion, but in stillness? The Buddha once said, "A disciplined mind brings happiness," and that discipline begins in silence, because only in quiet moments can we hear what's truly going on inside us. Try this. Set everything down, close your eyes, let the outside world fall away. At first, it's uncomfortable. The silence might feel overwhelming. Old wounds, buried thoughts, and hidden fears may surface, but that's where transformation begins. When we stop running from ourselves, we start meeting ourselves. You may start to hear a faint voice within. It doesn't shout, it whispers, "You're not broken. You're simply tired. Come back to yourself." That voice is not your ego, it's your soul, and it's been waiting patiently for you to listen. Sitting in silence isn't easy, but it's sacred. As you make room for stillness, something begins to shift. The mental clutter starts to dissolve. The tension in your chest begins to ease. You begin to see things as they are, not as fear or anxiety paints them, and slowly your inner world softens. A quiet light appears where there was once confusion. That is the space where true healing begins, not in escape, but in presence. So the next time life feels too loud, too heavy, or too fast, try something radical. Stop, breathe, close your eyes, and gently enter the silence within. There, in that quiet space, you'll discover that the peace you've been chasing has been quietly waiting for you. All along. Lesson 5. The present moment is where life truly lives. Real peace isn't found by digging through the past or racing into the future. It's discovered right here, in this single breath. So often we wake up but carry yesterday on our shoulders. We move through the day but our thoughts remain tangled in regrets, memories, or things we can't change. And by nightfall, instead of resting, we are burdened by fears about tomorrow. This is the hidden suffering. Being physically present, but mentally elsewhere. The Buddha taught that true aliveness only exists in the present moment, and yet we spend most of our lives everywhere except here. We replay old mistakes, revisit past pain, and invent future problems, all while the present slips quietly through our fingers. But think about it. Can you rewrite the past by obsessing over it? Can you control the future by worrying? All we truly have is now. Healing begins when we return to what's real, this moment right now. You can feel your breath rising and falling. You can hear the world around you. Birds, wind, laughter, silence. You can notice your own presence, not your story, not your identity, but you, simply being. This is not about ignoring the past or neglecting the future. It's about refusing to miss what's already here. Because every second that passes is a part of your life you'll never get back. When you begin to value the present, your mind softens, your heart opens, you begin to heal, not because life became easier, but because you finally stopped abandoning the only place where life actually happens. So the next time your mind drifts to what was, or fears what might be, gently pause, ask yourself, am I missing what's happening right now? Then take a breath, look around and say, I am grounded, I am present. This moment is mine, and it is enough. Lesson 6. Trace the pain to its roots. There's a truth the Buddha taught that we often overlook. All pain arises from a cause. See the cause clearly, and the suffering begins to dissolve. Let's step into a familiar story, not of someone famous, but someone like you and me. Picture a young boy named Arjun. One day in school, he makes a small mistake, but instead of gentle correction, his father lashes out in front of everyone. Laughter echoes, shame floods in, the moment ends, but something inside him doesn't. Years pass. Arjun finishes school, lands a good job, builds a life. But every time someone criticizes him, even slightly, a wave of anxiety rises. His hands tremble, his confidence collapses. People around him say, "You're too sensitive," but they don't see the scar left behind, a wound he never acknowledged, let alone healed. The Buddha once said, "When the root of a tree dries up, its branches cannot flourish." In the same way, when we ignore the origin of our emotional pain, our outer life may seem fine. Smiles, success, distractions, but inside the roots are withering. So what's the answer? More distractions? Forcing positive thoughts? Real healing begins in stillness. It starts when we stop running and ask ourselves, when did this pain begin? Why does this trigger me so deeply? Maybe someone betrayed you. Maybe your dreams were ridiculed, or maybe you turned away from yourself and rather than face it, you buried it. But buried wounds don't vanish. They grow quiet, waiting, whispering through our fears and reactions. The Buddha taught to understand is to be free. The moment you turn inward and ask, what is the source of this suffering? You light the first lantern on your path to peace. No medication, no applause, just truth, and truth, seen clearly, is the beginning of liberation. Lesson 7. Stop comparing yourself to others. There's a quiet thief that robs more people of joy than failure ever could: comparison. It slips in unnoticed, often disguised as motivation, but slowly corrodes our sense of worth. The Buddha reminded us that comparing ourselves is a natural impulse, but when we feed that habit, it mutates into something toxic. It doesn't just distract us, it dismantles us from within. In today's world, all it takes is a few scrolls. You open your phone and there they are, people who seem to be living their best lives. Someone's exploring the Alps, someone else just got promoted. Another just got engaged in Bali. It's a curated world of perfect moments, and yet we measure our real, messy lives against it. And suddenly, a quiet voice whispers, "Why not me? What am I missing?" But that question comes from illusion. When you compare your path to someone else's highlight reel, you ignore your own story, the battles you fought, the distance you've traveled, the progress you've made when no one was watching. You forget that every soul is a different book, and judging your worth by someone else's cover is not only unfair, it's harmful. Your life is not meant to follow someone else's timeline. Your growth, your rhythm, your breakthroughs, they arrive on their own schedule. Just as the sun and the moon never compete, yet both illuminate the world in their own time, you too will shine. Not earlier, not later, but exactly when you're meant to. The Buddha said, don't compare your life to others. There's no comparison between the sun and the moon. They shine when it's their time. Let that truth settle in. You have your own time. You have your light. You are not behind. You are on your way. So today, make a quiet vow to yourself. I will not measure my worth against another's path. I will honor my own pace, my own becoming. I will choose respect for my journey over resentment for someone else's, because peace begins when comparison ends. And once you've loosened yourself from the chains of comparison, the next step in healing is perhaps the hardest: learning to forgive yourself. Lesson 8. Forgive yourself and others. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is release, a quiet, courageous act that unchanges your soul before it ever touches the one who hurt you. The Buddha knew this well and taught that forgiveness is not something you do for others first. It's something you offer yourself. We've all carried wounds, moments when someone said or did something that cut deep. Maybe it was betrayal, humiliation, or abandonment. And for many, the instinct is to cling to the pain, replaying the memory over and over, waiting for justice or revenge. I'll never forget, we say. They don't deserve forgiveness. But pause for a moment. Has holding on to that anger ever brought true peace? Has it healed you? The truth is, anger is a fire that consumes the one who holds it. The longer you clutch it, the heavier you become. You think you're protecting yourself, but in reality, you're just carrying poison, expecting someone else to suffer from it. The Buddha said holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. That bitterness doesn't punish them. It punishes you every day, quietly. Forgiveness doesn't mean erasing the wrong or pretending it never happened. It means choosing to let go of the burden it left behind. When you forgive, you aren't saying it didn't hurt. You're saying, I refuse to carry this pain any longer. And this applies not only to others, but to yourself. Maybe the hardest person to forgive is the one you see in the mirror for the choices you regret, the dreams you didn't chase, the words you wish you could take back. But self-forgiveness is the doorway to self-love. Until you offer yourself compassion, healing can't truly begin. Today, take one step. Release the resentment toward others and toward yourself, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. This act of inner letting go will do more for your spirit than years of silent suffering. Forgiveness is not a favor, it's freedom, and once you give it, you'll discover that it's the most powerful gift you could ever offer your soul. Lesson 9. Practice mindfulness. Have you ever felt mentally exhausted? We often think of fatigue as something the body experiences after a long day of work or physical activity. But today, the greatest weariness we face is mental. Our thoughts race one after another, without pause. One thought lingers on the regret of yesterday, another spirals into worry for tomorrow, and in the chaos of it all, we lose something precious, the peace of the present moment. The Buddha showed us a simple, yet profound path to peace: mindfulness. It's not just about meditation or sitting in silence. It's about bringing full awareness to whatever you're doing. Every task, no matter how small, can become an act of mindfulness. Take a moment. How do you start your day? Most of us reach for our phones the moment we wake up, diving straight into the noise of the outside world. But imagine this. What if instead of reaching for the phone, you simply open your eyes and take a deep breath, feeling the softness of your bed beneath you? Then, as you go about your morning routine, be present. When brushing your teeth, notice the bristles of the brush, the cool touch of the water, the freshness that fills your mouth. These small moments, when experienced with full awareness, can create significant change in your life. Your heart and mind begin to align, and the day starts with a sense of calm. Mindfulness spreads throughout all aspects of life. When you eat, set aside distractions like your phone or TV. Taste your food. Appreciate each bite, not only as nourishment but as a gift, a blend of nature, effort, and care. Eating mindfully doesn't just feed your body, it also nurtures your mind. You can also practice mindfulness while walking. Walk without rushing. Feel every step, the connection between your feet and the earth, the rhythm of your movement. This simple practice not only makes your body feel lighter, but also relaxes your mind. In your work, focus on one task at a time. Keep distractions away and give your full attention to what's in front of you. When you give your full attention, success naturally follows, not just because you finish more, but because you feel content with each task completed. Mindfulness can also change the way we connect with others. The next time someone speaks to you, listen, really listen. Don't interrupt, and don't think about your response while they talk. Just be present with their words. This simple act can create deeper, more meaningful relationships, because people feel seen and valued when you truly listen. At first, this may feel unusual. Our minds are used to rushing and being scattered. But with daily practice, you'll start noticing a change. The more present you are, the more peace you bring into your life. Remember, peace isn't something to chase in distant places or big dreams. It's here, in this moment, with each breath. The more mindful you are, the quieter your mind becomes. Life starts to feel steadier, and you begin to understand yourself on a deeper level. Over time, fear fades, regrets lessen, and a strong sense of gratitude for life grows within you. Mindfulness teaches us that every moment is sacred. By truly living in the present, even the simplest day can feel extraordinary. Lesson 10. Treat each morning as a fresh start. Every morning is a blank page, waiting for you to write your own story. But if you keep writing yesterday's story on that fresh page, how can something new begin? No matter how difficult, messy, or heavy your past has been, today's sun rises without judging who you were yesterday. It simply lights the path ahead, full of warmth and endless possibilities. So start each day with the thought, today I can begin anew. Today you have the opportunity to be kinder, to forgive, to heal. Today you can fix a broken relationship, take the first step toward your dream, or simply embrace the peace that is already within reach. Every morning, life gently says, here's another chance. You have the power to shape the day you want to live. Will you let it be controlled by worry, stress, and confusion again? Or will you fill it with peace, love, and mindfulness? The choice is yours, and in that choice lies your greatest strength. Each day brings the power of a new beginning, but how often do we wake up holding on to yesterday's burdens? The regret, the arguments, the unfinished tasks, or the pain from the day before. We carry these heavy feelings with us every morning. We go through our routine, brushing our teeth, eating breakfast, heading to work. Yet inside, we're still stuck in yesterday's energy. But think for a moment. If you were given a brand new life every morning, would you still carry the old pain, anger, and exhaustion with you? Buddha taught that every morning is a new beginning. This isn't just a poetic idea. It's a deep truth. When you wake up each day, you're not just leaving sleep behind. You're given a fresh opportunity to step into your life with new awareness. Remind yourself that the past is exactly that. The past. It lives only in your memory, and memories should never cloud the brightness of the present moment. So take a deep breath, close your eyes for a moment, and let go of yesterday. Tell yourself, today I will live fully. I will release the past. I will learn to love myself, and I will find peace within. Remember, life is never still. Every moment offers a chance to change. Each new day is another opportunity to reconnect with who you truly are. Conclusion: the truth is, everything that appears will also fade. Every storm, every sorrow, and every smile. When we stop resisting change and start flowing with it, we feel less pain. We begin to heal, not because life becomes perfect, but because we stop expecting it to stay the same. If this message touched you, know that this is just the beginning. There are many more timeless Buddhist teachings that can guide you toward peace, presence, and self-compassion. Subscribe to the channel and join us on this journey of healing, one insight at a time. And if you know someone who might need this message today, share it with them. Remember, nothing lasts forever, and that's what makes this moment so special.